Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the college football playoff on target to sort out a new revenue split, and now we're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott. Oh boy! Dallas Cowboys again.
You get a lot of college football. You get a lot of Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Gosh. Okay. So, could the Dallas Cowboys reunite with Ezekiel Elliott? The Dallas Cowboys have a serious question to answer about their running back plans for the 2024 season after letting Tony Pollard leave for the Titans and free agency and letting Rico Dowdle?
Rico, that's good enough.
Rico, okay. Contract expire on Wednesday. The team's only remaining running backs are 2023 draft Deuce Vaughn, the smallest back in the league, and Hunter, who is technically a fullback. Though Dallas is reportedly considering a pickup of former Packers #1 running back A.J. Dillon, Cowboys insider Patrick Walker suggests a reunion with former first-rounder Ezekiel Elliott could be on the table. Walker shared, I wouldn't rule out a possible reunion with Ezekiel Elliott and then also drafting a running back to tandem. His relationship with the Cowboys is still positive and the dialogue has remained open. Dillon and Elliott posted similar stats in 2023 with the veteran averaging 3.5 yards per carry to the Packers standouts 3.4 YPC yards per carry.
Yards per carry.
Yeah, I just said it. The major difference between the two is the tread on their tires. Elliott will turn 29 this year, and Dillon is only 25. Doesn't, I guess in sports, I guess that's a big age difference.
Oh, that's ancient. 29. Okay, let me translate. I speak footballese. 29 is code for he's like 65.
25's the new, 29's the new 50. Got it. Okay.
Yes, you're as for running backs, that's 25, 30, 31. That's ancient for running backs. Now, how do I feel about this?
Yes.
I have been an Ezekiel Elliott fan for years. But when it came around for Ezekiel to get his big contract with Dallas, I thought they were making a big mistake, and I said they should not sign him. They should not sign him to that big contract. And it ended up costing them. After that, each year after year, his numbers got worse and worse and worse. Then last year, they finally parted ways and separated. And Ezekiel played for the New England Patriots, and he had a decent year, but not a great year, not an okay year. It was just a okay year. You know what I mean? Yes, he has kept a great relationship with the Cowboys. Is it a feel-good story to have him come back? He was a pivotal part of the Cowboys locker room as far as being a leader in the locker room. But you've already turned that page. And I don't think you go back to that. It's different if he was a major part of the offense and he was going to be incredibly productive. But honestly, there's very little upside for bringing him in, except for he's a body. You can go, and I know it's so horrible to say that Ezekiel Elliott is just a body on the Dallas Cowboys. One of the Dallas Cowboys' all-time greats is just not someone that you want to bring back. But I would rather see them bring in a younger, more athletic running back who has more to give. Old running backs get injured. Old running backs, their production doesn't get better, it only gets worse. So I'd rather see them maybe sign a guy, but draft not just one, but a couple running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you definitely don't want to go in with Deuce Vaughn, who is an electrifying player, but he is so small. And when you have such a small frame running back, injuries happen.
Mm-hmm.
How much pounding can a guy like that take? So you need a few young bodies. I'd have Deuce on there, and then maybe I'd go out and get me a couple running backs. You're not, and the thing about it is, you're not going to spend a lot to get a running back.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't any running backs to take in the first round. Most of the running backs are third, fourth, fifth round picks. Wait till later in the draft, bring you in a couple of young running backs in that third, fourth, fifth round, and just turn the chapter. Bringing Ezekiel Elliott back, and I hate using this, is not an example of going all in. That's turning the clock back. It's not the move you want.
Mm-hmm.
Would love to see Ezekiel, be like, I don't even know, an ambassador. I know he's not ready to retire, but I would love for them to have him retire as a Cowboy on a signing day. But as far as bringing him in to be a factor in the offense, what do you gain? I don't really see a big upside to this. It's actually, I can only see it being a negative. If you bring Ezekiel Elliott in and at his age, you make him the starting running back, what production are you getting? I don't even think he had 500 yards last year, 500 to 600 yards. So you're bringing in like a 500, 600 yard running back. Then, and if you play him, you're not getting the production. But if you bench him, a lot of players are going to kind of feel kind of weird seeing Ezekiel Elliott, a DNP, did not play, or Ezekiel Elliott, 2 carries for -3 yards. You don't want that. That's where morale and things kind of play. I could only see this hurting the Cowboys. I don't really see it as a move to advance the Cowboys to the next round. And pretty much this is the reason why, Faith, I said draft a quarterback. Draft a running back.
Mm-hmm.
All of the impact running backs that were out there have been signed. They got signed on day one for pretty decent money. So the best option is draft a couple of running backs as your running backs of the future. Sort that out. It's not like a quarterback where, it takes years for a quarterback to adjust. Running backs are ready to go day one, but they burn out fast. Get you a couple young running backs, introduce the world to the next Cowboys running back, and move forward. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm not going that route. Honestly, you could really see a situation where there's a scenario where Zeke's not on the Cowboys, and next year Dak could not be on the Cowboys. Talk about turning the page. Mm-hmm. But the Cowboys need to have some tough decisions to make going forward. And the Cowboys need to start thinking about getting younger. They're already a young team, but getting younger and planning for the next future of the Cowboys. I'm going back in time and hoping to squeeze a little more juice off the orange that is Ezekiel Elliott when it's already all pruny and it's all raisined up already. There's not a lot of juice left on that bad boy. Mm-hmm. And I'm a guy who appreciated what Zeke did for the Cowboys and how well he played for the Cowboys. We never made it to a Super Bowl with him, but he had some amazing years. He got paid incredibly well. But no, I'm not a fan of bringing back a 29-year-old running back who didn't even perform well. He hasn't performed well. He did okay last year. He did
Mm-hmm.
okay the year before that. He did okay the year before that. But he got paid more money than any running back in history has gotten
Ooh.
paid.
And he was
Just
just doing
okay.
okay.
Just doing okay isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
The money they paid the Cowboys paid him. They were hoping for Christian McCaffrey numbers, but ended up getting, you know, below average numbers. So no, I would not bring him back. What do you say, Faith?
Well, I was gonna ask you. I know
Okay, go ahead.
you say no, but do you think that it will happen? What do you think
Ooh,
the
that's a
Cowboys will
great
actually do?
question. Okay, that's an interesting question because I do think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
I may not be pro this, but Jerry has always been very fond of Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry's very fond of all his players that he's brought in. If he's drafted him and you've been a Cowboy, he's incredibly loyal to you. He hadn't ruled out bringing him back last year, you know. So looking around, if you're looking around and you're like, listen, we want we want to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see Jerry signing off on it. Would it shock me if Ezekiel Elliott was back? No. Would I be disappointed? I wouldn't be disappointed, but it would definitely say that's not I hate to say this, an all-in move.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nostalgic move. It's not a move that moves the Cowboys to the next level of
Mm-hmm.
contending for a Super Bowl. Because I would also say the Dallas Cowboys team could have not only made it to the Super Bowl, but had the potential to win the Super Bowl if they had a quality running back. If they would have went out and got a Derrick Henry last year or a Christian McCaffrey instead of letting them go to the 49ers, that was the biggest difference right there. I thought Tony Pollard just he wasn't the running back that we needed. I shouldn't say that the Cowboys needed. There's no we whatsoever. I'm a Cowboy fan, but Cowboys ain't never cut me a check. So, but a stable running game really would help the Cowboys out and help Dak out. Give that defense a nice rest. That's the thing that when Ezekiel was at his peak, he
Mm-hmm.
could do. Long, sustained drives, 6-7 minute drives where the defense can get a blow and just and rest, coming out there fresh for that fourth quarter. Zeke hasn't been that guy in years,
Mm-hmm.
years, and there's no reason to think, hey, even a year or two older, hey, maybe you can turn the clock back. Nothing tells me or shows me that that is possible. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even show me in the history of the NFL. Rarely does a running back get close to 30 and says, hey, it's time for me to have my breakout year. No.
No.
That's my answer. No, don't do it.
I mean, yeah, if he's just an okay running back and this is their all-in season, why bring back just an okay running back? That doesn't really make any sense to me. But it
That's
seems
what I
like
say.
they like to keep people that they've had before. It's like
Yes, they do. And that's the thing. That's one of the things that people don't understand about Jerry is how loyal he is.
mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna bring this up because I pulled this up while you were talking. Last year, Ezekiel Elliott rushed for 184 carries, 642 yards, and he averaged 3.5 yards carry for 3 touchdowns. So his numbers, he's coming off the worst year of his career. His last year in Dallas, he rushed for 873 yards. You know, since he got his contract, that's his 1,002 yards is the best he has done. That's a far cry from 2016, where he was rushing for 1,600 yards.
Yeah.
His production has dramatically dropped. How can you look at that and say, yes, this is the guy that we want? I mean, year after year, since 2021, he had 1,002 yards. 2022, he had 876. 2023, 642. You know, it's showing year after year his numbers are falling. So no, there's not a reason, and that's, I don't mean, like I said, don't mean anything by beating up on him, because I think he's an all-time great, and I love what he's done for the Cowboys and things, but it doesn't move the Cowboys closer to getting over and getting to the NFC Championship game, let alone the Super Bowl.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I'm sure we will find out the minute it does, and I'm sure we'll talk about it on the show.
I like it.
All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss Patrick Mahomes and Justin Fields. So stick around.